Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today's message is not for the crowds. It's not for the ones who walk proudly on the surface while their hearts remain hollow. This message is for you, the one who has been walking in silence, building in secret, sacrificing without applause, and obeying when no one saw. You didn't perform for the world. You showed your loyalty in quiet ways. And though no one clapped for you, the heavens recorded every breath, every tear, every act of resistance you made against your lower self. You didn't do it to be seen. But now, it's time the world sees what Allah saw long before they even noticed your existence. You've been tested not once, not twice, but repeatedly. And each time, you chose obedience. You chose patience. You chose submission. You made decisions that others called foolish, but deep in your soul, you knew this was the path of the sincere. While the world was busy chasing temporary glory, you were planting seeds no one cared about. And now, Allah is about to let those seeds blossom publicly. Not because you need the validation, but because He wants to honor what you kept sacred in private. Some of you walked away from things you loved, not because you weren't attached, but because you loved Allah more. And that love, pure, painful, and silent, moved mountains in the unseen world. It shook the hearts of angels and became a source of light in realms you can't yet see. You may not have known it at the time, but your decision to walk away from what wasn't meant for you was actually a step closer to everything that was. This is the moment where your unseen sacrifices begin to take form. Not because the reward matters more than the journey, but because Allah never forgets. You may have walked in shame. You may have endured mockery, insults, betrayal, even from those closest to you. But you endured it for His sake. And that is what set you apart. That is what made you chosen. Not because you were the loudest in prayer, but because you were the most sincere when no one heard your dua. And now, Allah is about to honor you publicly, in ways that will silence those who spoke against you and humble those who underestimated what He placed inside of you. The same people who once questioned your decisions will begin to ask for your advice. The same doors that were shut will now open without you even knocking. Because when Allah says it's your time, no creation can deny your elevation. So don't shrink now. Don't dim your light out of habit. Don't walk with your head low because of what you had to endure. Allah saw it all. He was with you in every test. And now, He is with you in the moment of manifestation, not just of blessings, but of truth. What you did touched His heart, not because He needs anything from you, but because your sincerity reflected the purity He loves in His most loyal servants. You didn't quit when it got hard. You didn't retaliate when they disrespected you. You didn't compromise your values even when it would have made life easier. You stood still, you remained upright, and you carried your soul through storms that would have destroyed others. And even now, you remain humble. That's why Allah is about to elevate you, because you didn't chase elevation. You chased Him, and in that pursuit, you unlocked something rare. A frequency the world no longer recognizes. Quiet honor, hidden obedience, silent worship. This is what makes the chosen ones so different. Their journey is not loud, but their reward always echoes across generations. When you felt unseen, heaven recorded every detail. Every tear you cried in silence. Every moment you walked away from something you wanted just to please Allah. None of it went unnoticed. And maybe you thought it was small. Maybe the world didn't clap for you. But the unseen world did. Angels recorded it. The skies bore witness. And while you were shrinking away from sin and walking humbly on the earth, a crown was being prepared for you, not by men, but by your Creator. Let's go deeper. Every time you forgave someone who didn't even say sorry, that touched Allah's heart. When you chose to stay silent instead of arguing, when you swallowed your anger for His sake, it didn't just vanish, it rose. It reached higher than your own emotions. And with every sacrifice, heaven's gates opened wider for you, slowly, quietly, but powerfully. Because sometimes the most spiritual moments don't feel supernatural, they just feel hard, Paul. But what you didn't realize is that those hidden battles were your real victories. Not the ones you announced, not the ones people praised, the ones you carried quietly like a burden and gave to Allah in secret. These were the moments that shifted your entire destiny. Not because the world saw you, but because Allah saw you. And His gaze is enough to rewrite everything. Do you understand the weight of this? You didn't just make good choices. You gave up parts of yourself for something eternal. That's not small, that's not forgettable. That is what saints are made of. Not of perfection, but of people who chose obedience when no one was clapping. People who broke inside but still bowed down. This is why the reward coming is not ordinary. It is divine. And let me tell you something most people will never understand. When Allah chooses to honor you, it doesn't look like the world's version of fame. It looks like peace. It looks like clarity. It looks like doors opening without explanation. It looks like you are feeling at ease while others are still chasing shadows. That's public reward in its most divine form. So don't underestimate what you did. Don't minimize your journey because it didn't trend or go viral. You moved heaven. You touched the heart of your Lord. And now, things are being rearranged for you in ways that defy human logic. There are conversations in the heavens about your name. There are angels assigned to your case. And the shift coming is not a reaction. It's a response. A divine response to every hidden act of righteousness you gave without applause. You didn't fall behind. You were being prepared. You weren't being rejected. You were being protected. And just because the timeline didn't match your expectations, doesn't mean the outcome won't exceed them. Trust the wisdom in the delay. Trust the process that shaped you, even when you didn't feel seen. Because Allah sees, and when He sees, He responds with power. And now, maybe you're beginning to feel it, that subtle shift, that soft stirring in your soul. It's not just a feeling, it's preparation. It's the echo of reward on its way. Don't dismiss it, don't second guess it. You are not waiting for something random to happen. You're standing at the edge of divine fulfillment. And what's coming will not only bless you, it will speak on your behalf. It will confirm to the world what heaven already knew. You were chosen, and you passed the test in silence. They thought your silence was weakness, but in the unseen realm, your silence echoed as strength. Every time you swallowed your pride, every time you walked away when you could have exploded, the angels recorded it. The pain you endured without retaliating, the moments you gave with nothing in return, the nights you cried without anyone knowing, all of it was seen. You didn't do it for applause. You didn't do it for recognition. You didn't even do it for people. You did it because something inside you whispered that Allah was watching. And that whisper was enough. What they didn't know is that your patience had weight. Your restraint had value. Your sincerity shook the heavens, even if the earth stayed silent. The people who hurt you, dismissed you, and used you may never acknowledge what you carried. But your Lord does. And He doesn't forget. What you did in private, those little acts of goodness, the silent prayers, the withheld anger, the tears, wiped away in sujood. They've piled up in the unseen like precious treasures. And soon the unseen will become seen. You see, when Allah loves a servant, He commands the angels to love that servant too. He tells the heavens and the earth to respond. And when Allah is pleased with what you've done, even if no human knows about it, He makes your reward visible in ways no one can ignore. That's the kind of reward that's coming. Public, unquestionable, undeniable. But not because you chased it, because you honored Him in private. There's a secret power in consistency. You kept showing up for prayers even when you were broken. You gave sadaqah when your wallet was almost empty. You said Alhamdulillah when your heart was heavy. You forgave when no one apologized. And every time you could have chosen bitterness but chose Allah instead, you sowed something in the spiritual realm that's now ready to bloom. The world sees outcomes, but Allah sees intentions. They only saw your tired face. He saw your persevering soul. They only saw the job you lost. He saw the faith you clung to while unemployed. They only saw you walking away. He saw that you were walking towards Him. This is why heaven has shifted. This is why your name is being whispered among the righteous. And this is why soon you'll understand why the journey was so difficult. Because the reward was never meant to be small. You're not invisible to the one who matters. You're not forgotten in the court of the king. There's a divine hush before a public honor. That's where you are now. In the pause before the breakthrough. In the silence before the scrolls are opened and what was once hidden is announced. Your tears have formed a river of mercy that's about to overflow in your life. So the next time you feel unrecognized, remember, you were never doing it for them. The applause of the world is empty, but the smile of your Lord is eternal. The reward you're about to receive is not a coincidence. It's a response to your heart, to your choices, to your consistency. The reward is on its way, and this time it won't be hidden. The same people who doubted you will witness how Allah elevates His sincere servants in broad daylight. And when it happens, you'll realize you didn't lose anything when you chose Allah. You won everything. Sometimes, the most powerful moments in your journey are the ones nobody else sees. The nights you stayed up, holding back tears. The times you gave when you barely had enough. The moments you chose patience over complaining. The silence you kept instead of arguing. These quiet acts, these personal sacrifices, they didn't go unnoticed. The people around you may never realize the weight you've carried or the strength it took to remain upright. But you need to hear this. Your actions touched the divine, not because they were loud or popular, but because they were pure, sincere, and unseen by the world. You didn't just pray when it was convenient. You prayed when your soul was tired. You didn't help people because you wanted something in return. You helped them because it was the right thing to do. And every time, you resisted the temptation to give up, even when it felt like everything was breaking inside. It was a testimony. A quiet testimony that Allah witnessed. And while others may overlook it, heaven never does. There are angels writing every hidden good deed, every quiet effort, every moment you pushed yourself to choose light over darkness. Maybe your kindness was rejected. Maybe your sincerity was mocked. Maybe your loyalty was not returned. But what if I told you that it was never about them anyway? It was always between you and Allah. And what you did for Him, He remembers. He remembers when you forgave, even when the pain was deep. He remembers when you chose honesty, even when lying would have made life easier. He remembers when you stayed true to your principles while others took shortcuts. He remembers because that's what makes you different. That's what makes you chosen. And now, there is something moving in the unseen. Something is unfolding that you can't fully see yet. But the heavens know, the angels know. The reward is being prepared in silence. The tables are turning. You will see the people who once dismissed you start whispering about how your life transformed. You will walk into rooms where people once ignored you and feel the warmth of unexpected favor. But this time, it won't be because of luck. It will be because of how you carried yourself when no one was watching. You are being rewarded not just for what you did, but for how you did it, with patience, grace, sincerity, and truth. Your dignity was your shield. Your obedience was your anchor. And now, what was written for you will find you. It's not just about wealth, marriage, or career. It's about divine acknowledgement. You are being placed in a chapter where Allah is making it clear to the world, "This is my servant, and I honor those who honor me." You didn't fall behind. You were being positioned. You weren't forgotten. You were being hidden until the time was right. You weren't rejected. You were being protected. The very things you thought disqualified you were actually setting you apart. The hardship, the betrayal, the isolation, they were all tools. Tools that carved depth into your soul and sincerity into your intentions. And now that sincerity is speaking louder than any words ever could. Do you feel that shift? That gentle, quiet assurance in your heart that something is near? That's not just your imagination. That's preparation. That's a response to everything you endured with patience. And it is unfolding. One step at a time, one moment after another. The world is about to see the version of you that Allah was preparing all along. Not the version molded by pain, but the one revealed through it. The one who remained pure, sincere, and steady, despite it all. There are moments in life when it feels like the world has passed you by. You've been silent, patient, obedient. While others ran after what their hands could grab, you waited for what your heart believed in. And now, chosen one, the delay wasn't in vain. You didn't let the noise of popularity distract you. You didn't let the storms of criticism shake your foundation. You simply stayed, humble, quiet and grounded in your conviction that Allah sees what others overlook, and that truth has caused your name to be whispered in the heavens. When you sacrificed what others would never give up, Allah took notice. When you forgave what most would revenge, the unseen realms recorded your grace. When you walked away from temptation with trembling but determination, angels surrounded your path. That's not small, that's monumental. That is heaven-moving devotion. And Allah, in His mercy and majesty, responds. Sometimes the reward doesn't come as applause. It doesn't show up on your bank balance. It doesn't get you trending. But it does something far greater. It elevates your soul to a station no algorithm can track. You are known by Allah. You are counted among those who honored Him in secret. And now He is preparing to honor you in public. This is not just a shift in your life, it's a declaration from the heavens. Allah is setting you apart, not just because of what you did, but because of the heart you did it with, the pure one, the wounded but loyal one, the sincere one that loved truth more than attention. Have you ever wondered why some doors didn't open when you knocked with tears? It wasn't rejection. It was redirection. Allah was protecting the value of what He was preparing for you, because had you entered too early, the reward would have felt ordinary. But now that you've endured, it's going to feel like divine vindication. And you won't have to post about it. You won't have to prove it. It will be seen. Not because of you, but because of the one who honors His loyal servants. Allah is bringing your reward out of the unseen into the seen. The eyes that doubted you will be the ones that witness it. The hearts that mocked your silence will tremble at your rise. Because when Allah honors someone, no force can overshadow it. And here's a secret only the chosen ones understand. The more hidden your sincerity, the more magnificent the exposure of your reward. You didn't do it for praise, but Allah will make sure your patience and sacrifice are praised in the way that brings Him glory. That means He's not just elevating you, He's using you as a sign that proves obedience is never ignored, that proves purity is never wasted, that proves sincerity is the most powerful currency in the divine economy. So now, something is shifting in your life, not just atmospherically, but spiritually. Allah has placed your name in the echo chambers of destiny. Movements are occurring around you that your eyes can't yet register, but your soul already feels. The lightness in your chest. That's a signal. The sudden moments of calm between storms. That's a sign. The unexplained assurance that something is coming. That's not a fantasy. That's a divine whisper. He's letting your heart know before your eyes see it. The reward is approaching. Not because you demanded it, but because your quiet, consistent, and unwavering obedience reached His throne. Do you feel it now? Now, as we come to the close of this message, remember this: your journey has been watched. Every silent sacrifice, every patient moment, every tear shed in secret, all of it has touched the heart of Allah. The one who sees what no one else does, the one who counts what no one else can, is preparing to honor you publicly. This is not just about what you will receive, but who you have become. You've been shaped by hardship, refined by tests, and lifted by unwavering faith. The reward coming your way is a direct reflection of your sincerity and your steadfastness. It will not be hidden. It will shine through the darkness, illuminating the path for others who are still struggling. Your rise will be a testimony, a living proof that when you remain true to Allah in secret, He will make your victory known to all. So today, I want to make a prayer for you. A prayer that I ask Allah to accept and answer for all who hear this message. O Allah, most merciful, most just, we ask you to honor every servant who chose your path when it was lonely. Bless those who stayed patient through trials no one witnessed. Raise their status in this life and the hereafter. Make their reward so grand that it silences the doubts of the world. Fill their hearts with peace, their lives with ease, and their futures with light. Open for them doors of blessings they never imagined, and guide them to stations of honor among the righteous. Protect them from harm, strengthen their faith, and surround them with your endless mercy. Let their stories be told in light, and their names praised in heaven. Grant them joy that no sorrow can touch, and success that no envy can steal. Ameen. Remember, chosen one, your value is not measured by what the world sees, but by what Allah knows. Keep walking in truth, keep praying in secret, and keep trusting the divine plan. Your reward is coming, public, undeniable, and magnificent. When heaven decides to honor its chosen servants, the entire world becomes a witness. Get ready. Your time is now.